Community becomes just a word in the overheated rhetoric of advertising for most of these developments. Community is shorthand for a cluster of houses with people inside them not talking to each other. It's not at all community in any meaningful or deep sense. So you can talk about the community of that named suburb or that tract, but in many cases, if not most, there's no community there.
The European paradigm is one where they live in very small, say, apartments, and those apartments are conceptually an extension of a much broader network that is the city itself. So the house is connected to the public square, is connected to restaurants, is connected to gardens and parks. And what's interesting about that is that the house becomes an extension of the city, and people's daily lives are really unfold within the city, and it's an engaging, participatory model. In contrast to that, the suburban paradigm is completely the opposite. In suburbia, the house is seen as a container that consumes the world. And so you get rooms like the media room where you're connected to the web, you're connected to satellite TV, and you project the world within that room. That model then conceptually is a model where the house literally and figuratively turns its back on the city or the street or any other notion that is public. And literally, when you look at these houses, what's interesting is you see the garage. You see the garage and you see a small front door. And when you think about how people occupy these houses, you're actually getting all the social space as a family room that is connected to the backyard. And so nobody's actually engaging the public sphere of those houses. There's no one looking at the street.
I think usually you end up meeting your neighbors through the kids, but you don't want to be too friendly with the kids.
No.
Yeah, because there was this guy, remember I was telling you, this guy in our other neighborhood?
Yeah.
And he was friendly with kids. I mean, he used to like have his house all decked up at Halloween, and he was always playing road hockey, right? Like everybody knew him, all the kids knew him, but there was this abduction that happened, or anyway, this young girl disappeared from the neighborhood, and like that's the first guy they want to talk to, right? Is this guy who's friendly with the kids. So yeah, anyway, the girl's father ended up taking her to California. It was one of these custody battles, right?
Yeah.
But he still has this label, right? He's friendly with the kids. So I'm not going to be doing that, I'll tell you.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I got this stuff just to boost the gas mileage, you know?
We talked about not working on the car.
Not working on the car.
That's working on the car.
No, it isn't. Jeez. Actually, I already did put some in.
Subconsciously or not, I don't know, whenever Evan ends up working on the car, it ends up in the shop. Something goes wrong with it. And we have an agreement that he won't work on the car. This family can't function without both cars on the road. We need to have both cars working. And if one's in the shop, it's just really difficult if he doesn't have both his car on the road as well as the van. It's too hard. It's impossible.
Which is perfectly verdant and bright. But my grass is greener and grows with a nicer demeanor. Yours has a heart and a soul and a spirit. In the hum of the motor you hear it say,
Where's she? Master.
Not bad. And lovingly, really lovingly at the beginning, you know, like grass, right?
Mostly the calls we get are just kids looking for someone to talk to, you know? Like it's pretty much just, I mean, like the last call I just had was just a girl, she's babysitting her younger brother and couldn't get a hold of anyone, couldn't get a hold of her friends, and just wanted a voice on the other end of the phone that could, you know, pick up on what she was feeling and just be there for her, you know? And
wouldn't you say that, like, for every 10 calls like that, you get one really serious one where they have a pretty large issue that they need to discuss?
For every one genuine crisis, you get a lot of just isolated kids, sad kids just needing to talk to someone.
Reluctant suburbanites, I like that.
Well, I mean, when I picked the play, I thought it would just be a lark. It'd be a lot of fun, but there are some concepts in there that really make you think. I mean, it's not just, you know, shtick about the suburbs. I mean, it's about growing older and where do you want to live, what kind of life you want to have.
I think it's like holding a big mirror up to them. I think they're going to respond. I hope that they'll walk away and take a good look at their own situation and environment. Whether that leads to a change or not, I'm just happy enough with the thought that they may think about it.
But I mean, that's not the reason we picked it. I mean, it's not like we're
not initially.
We're doing some kind of politically active theater, you know, for the suburbs, like Rock People's World or something. I mean, we just thought it'd be fun, and it's kind of a neat. There's a lot of neat songs in it. Hopefully, people take it in the spirit it's intended, and not, you know, what are you trying to say? You know, like, Evan, what are you trying to say, man?
Evan, I want you downstage. I'm going to have you lit in a spot for your solo. Okay, and just remember, lovingly. This is your lawn, okay?
Sometimes you know right away when it's a prank call, but once in a while you get these really good actors and they just keep you going with their story. And like this one girl, I was on the phone with her for maybe 20 minutes and I had raised my red flag, and like it was
like suicide
so
watch,
serious. It was insane. Then she starts laughing and hangs up the phone, and I was
you have to treat each call like it's not a prank call,
it's
even
the
if you know it is.
procedure, and
it's not even.
They have
I mean,
nothing better
it's
to do.
not,
They have nothing better to do than to waste.
Well,
it's not
just
entertainment.
Like, it's disrespectful.
For me, it's the idea of just getting so caught up in trying to achieve that ideal life. You know, the house, the family, the perfect lawn, you know, the perfect vehicle, or 2 vehicles, or 3 vehicles, and not really taking the opportunity to enjoy what you have. You have this whole idea in your mind of what that life should be, and once you get there, it's now where do you go? Now what do you achieve? So you sort of live in it. You live in it, and you constantly sort of float on the surface of this perfect picture. And again, there's just nights when I just want to scream, and I just want to run out of the house and say, I've had enough. I've had enough. I want to enjoy my life.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it, like when we moved out here. I mean, I've always lived in the city, but sometimes you don't let it in too far, I think. It's kind of scary, but you know, do you want to unravel your whole life and say, oh, like, you know, should I live here? Should I do that? Then you start, you know, peeling it back. Pretty soon it's like, you know, anyway, should I be married or something? I don't know, no. Yeah, I mean, you think it, and then, you know, you get on with the next morning, you got to drive the kids to school, and you got to, you know, whatever, pay the bills and all that stuff. So,
What I love about suburbs, especially the newer ones, the more cinematic style suburbs, the ones that you feel like you're in a movie even if you're not. You know, you're walking down a sidewalk, there's nobody around, or you're driving down one of those huge corporate-owned streets with a name that you can't remember. There's nobody to be seen. There's something kind of bizarre and post-apocalyptic about those things. So it's no surprise when you see something like, you know, a zombie movie that starts in just that kind of suburb.
going to Tina's.
She's sleeping over.
Yeah.
We're just outside of my house in Scenic Acres. Me and Nicole just got off the bus that we took from Dalhousie. We've lived here for 3 years now. I don't really know anyone because, well, on the count of we go to Central Memorial, which is all the way in the south, and pretty much hang out with all of the kids from that school. So the school's the center between us.
So we live on like polar opposite ends of the city, which makes getting around kind of tough. But you know,
what can you do?
it's what it is.
Yeah, gotta accept it.
Yeah.
Hear that noise?
Yeah.
There's definitely something wrong with it. It's a lemon.
It messes up the whole schedule.
He ends up taking the bus. I end up having to change my schedule all around to make sure that the kids are covered. Getting them from school, making sure Nick gets to his friends, picking up his dry
The
cleaning.
hearts just have to keep going on, and all the green ones just disappear like magic.
It makes his life a lot easier to not have to do all that running around.
So you can give me a ride, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It is amazing, especially when you go to an older European city. It's amazing the way in which cities that were founded 1,000 years ago have sort of just expanded and adapted to growth. You just add on more and more layers, and the city continues to grow. Whereas a lot of the places that we're building now, probably like a city like Atlanta is the best example of it, it's just not clear what you're going to do with it when it loses its charm.
You know, in subdivisions, everybody bought at the same time, and everybody gets old at the same time, and then everybody has kids at the same time, so they have a tremendous impact on schools. And then suddenly the kids all grow up, and the schools are empty and have to be closed. You know, any monoculture is extremely dysfunctional.
They're too low density to be serviced by transit. And at the same time, the infrastructure is built in such a way that there's no way to effectively convert them to high density. And so these older suburbs find themselves really with genuinely the worst of all possible worlds, because they often wind up with downtown type traffic. And yet they're not configured in such a way as to adopt downtown solutions.
See, suburbia tends to either live or die. You know, the shopping center is either alive or dead, and you scrape it. It is incapable of natural successional evolution. It doesn't naturally densify because it doesn't have that marvelous grid that allows the same infrastructure at one point to contain shacks and then 150 years later contain high-rises. Suburbia doesn't have them. Suburbia has pods. Suburbia has cul-de-sacs and so forth. And so it doesn't evolve naturally, and it's harder, but still necessary to retrofit the suburbs.
So here we are in the inner city. This is downtown, and this is where you would have me live. And for the price of my 5-bedroom house in Evergreen, I'd get a 2-bedroom condo in there. So we would be living on top of one another, you know? And there's lots of coffee shops and nice restaurants and stuff in walking distance. So it's kind of fun to come downtown and stuff, but there's all kinds of construction. There's no houses, it's all apartments, and there's a park over there, but I don't really want to know what goes on over there. And the other thing too is that, frankly, I don't want to live in the inner city because I want a new house. I like a brand new house. I like that it's clean and it's quiet. To me, this is dirty and noisy and way overpriced. It's way too expensive compared to what I can get out in Evergreen, in my house in Evergreen. So I'm happy out in Evergreen.
What is the destiny of suburbia? The dirty secret of our economy for the last couple of decades is that it's really been about creating ever more of this fabric. And we're now reaching the end of that cycle because we're entering an era of energy scarcity that is not going to permit us to continue living this way. The common argument in favor of suburbia for many years has been the idea that people want it, so therefore it must be good, it must be okay. But the future is going to compel us to live differently, whether people like it or not, or whether people want it that way or not. And this way of living is coming off the menu.
Clearly, the idea of infinite suburban sprawl is impossible to maintain. Suburbia requires a huge amount of infrastructure, and when we think of ourselves as with a global perspective on ecology and sustainability, the model of development as suburbia is really radically inferior.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a lot of people, which I'm relieved to say the least. Yeah, actually, the lady was saying that some people were actually calling for tickets, so I think it's going to be good.
Mom's not coming.
What?
She's not coming.
She's bailing out.
What are you talking about?
She doesn't want to go.
You guys got your tickets, right?
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess I have to get ready, so.
Okay, see you then.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
I thought at least she'd show up and, you know, put on a happy face and, you know, nice job, Evan, you know, and then she can yell at me later or something, but holy cow. Anyway, maybe I won't be as nervous, actually. Maybe I can forget about her being in the audience, you know, and just concentrate on what I'm doing. Somebody compared us putting on this play here in the suburbs to somebody putting on Apocalypse Now in Cambodia. The horror. Yeah. The mower clips the tender tips, row by row, in even strips. The sharpened blade beheads the foe, and as it flies, you civilize the earth below. Hear its cries, circumcise,
Notice your neighbors engaging in similar labors, toiling over their turf, which is perfectly verdant and bright. But my grass is greener and grows with a nicer demeanor.
I have better things to do with my time than go to a play that basically makes fun of my home. I suppose Evan told you that his car isn't working again. The car that he specifically prohibited from working on is now going back into the shop.
Mom,
What
are your thoughts?
Not overgrown, searching for the finest foods, playgrounds and schools, sensible zoning, with rational rules, place for tax and crime, all the place I want to go. Might recommend us, might recommend, I know, place I know. When Armageddon comes its merry way, everybody here will gladly stay, happy to be facing Judgment Day in summer.
Actually, I was quite impressed with it. It was something different, I thought, to have it out in a community center about rural life. And I know you were laughing.
Oh, I thought the dog was adorable.
Overall, it was very nice. Yeah.
It was pretty good.
I didn't know my dad could sing like that. As well, I thought it was pretty well choreographed. It's kind of funny. It would be sweet if the suburbs were really like that. Everyone's singing and...
Yeah, I'd move there if it was like that,
but sweet, but
it's not, so...
Yeah.
Well, my dad would want to say that my favorite actor was him, but the dog.
I think it was pretty good.
They came.
Yeah, we had a great house, pretty good crowd. And, well, there's a couple spots.
Well, there was
that
a few
lawnmower
little,
thing?
There was a few floodlights.
Well, a few police, we couldn't hear the piano, I guess, but...
Very happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Dad, me and Holly are just going to walk home now.
Okay, straight home.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway. Yeah, so, oh boy.
You think they liked it?
Oh, yeah, I never asked them.
Be interesting to know what they thought.
So your dad's back to sabotaging the car?
Yeah.
The need for growth. You know, obviously, North America is growing at a very good clip. People need to be accommodated somewhere. So there actually is the need for these houses and shops and so forth. And the way to do it is by saying, well, there's a certain type of growth that is actually sustainable. And that's new urbanism, smart growth. New urbanism tries to bring everything back together so that it's more compact, so that people can walk to their daily needs, and above all, be allowed to live without a car if they so wish. You know, we're not describing a kind of future utopia. Everybody who lives in North America has seen suburban sprawl and what that looks like and what that functions like. And they've also seen marvelous traditional towns. So everybody's seen both. And what the new urbanists are proposing is that the development practice revert to the pre-war development practice, because in every way it works better.